Alrighty, so here we are in the first bunker, bunker number 1, and some of these sims are actually my sims, so I thought we'd start here. This is Draco, and Draco is, oh gosh, whose son is he? How am I not remembering off the top of my head? I want to say he's Mason's kid, but he can't be Mason's kid and not be an elder yet. Didn't I click on... Oh, no, I wanted to click on Draco. Draco, yes, is Mason's kid. Okay. He's just way younger, or he's about to age to elder. Okay, yeah, it looks like he's about to age to elder. Anyway, so, he's Mason's, that's right, okay. He's Mason's youngest alien son. He was, like, way younger. Okay. There we go. Got it. Okay, so Draco married Lilith Rugburn, who is, would have been pleasant, you know, if things weren't all shaken up. And this is Angela. And Angela married this guy, Jared, who she met in a store as a teen. They have Kylie, and they just had this baby, Seth. Okay, so that's their story. Lilith just went onto this bus to go to work. I crossed it out, but I don't know if she'll leave or not. So here, why is this instead of an apartment thing? You know what? I don't know. Okay, so here is just their apartment, their room for the bunker. It's basically just their beds. And that's it. And then this is the shared area here. And it's just, sorry, it's all of the items that are allowed for the Apocalypse Challenge. And there's a lot of CC toys and stuff like that here for the toddlers, just to make it look a little more junky. And also some of these toys, like these crabs, build body skill. And I think this pot builds cooking skill. And then like this truck here, that builds mechanical skill, I believe. So I think it's pretty cool. And they're like by Alice or something is what they're called. So I can show you or give you links if anybody's interested in getting those toys. I mean, they are kind of trashy looking, but they're also pretty helpful to have. So yeah, this is all set up for you know, only the things that are allowed in the apocalypse right now. And we have this for the sponge bathing for adults. Since there's some kids, I had to put in this sink because the kids can't sponge bathe normally. That sink's the only way that I've found that they can. And there's their grill. So they have, this is the entrance to get in. That way they're kind of protected from zombies. So they go up this way and then down and then inside. And this area is all fenced in to kind of protect them. But as you'll probably see, they won't stay inside. They're going to be goofballs and go outside and build snowmen and stuff. Okay, so that's who they are. I mean, I'm not planning on actually playing anybody. I basically just wanted to introduce who they are. This is the landlord. I don't know. I mean, I might at some point play some of them, but right now, no. I did want to see, does anybody here have a random role? Let's see, we got Curious, Broke, Baldwin, Bachelor, Kilburn, Simovich. No, none of them do. So that's basically what I do when I go to these different households. We got all of the different hacked objects hidden here. When I go to the different households, I age up whoever needs to be aged up, and if they have any random roles for that family, I do those. So that's basically it. I don't really, there's more things like that's a stay things shrub here. So yeah, I don't really do anything, you know, beyond. Sometimes I do play them. If I've gone like for their birthday or whatever, I might play them for a while. I used to play them if they wanted to teach a toddler something. So like, does Angela want to teach the toddler anything? She just wants to see him grow up well. That's his sister, not a relative. Okay, and that's, yeah, he wants to be a zombie because he's a knowledge sim. All of the knowledge sims want to be zombies, the goofballs. Anyway, so yeah, that's that family. And like I said, Draco's one of mine. And I did play them a bit in the Spares Trailer Park Challenge lot. So I can't change to the other apartments this way, can I? Because that would be ideal. Introduce to neighbors. Okay, no. Alright, so we'll go back up. I'm not sure if I should just cut off the video each time I do this or not, because, I mean, the loading screens aren't long, but at the same time, I don't know what to say for each loading screen. Because I'm going to be loading for the neighborhood and loading back into the house. So maybe I will cut off till I get into each one. Okay, so this household has the Petersons and the Jacques household. And this one is actually one that, if you had read the Trailer Park Challenge, we were connected quite a bit to this household. So let me try to explain who's who. All right, so let's see. Caliban, no, Peterson, Theo. It'd be so complicated. Let's go into the Monty family and see if we can figure this out. All right, so way back when, in the second generation of the Trailer Park Challenge, there's Ariel. Okay, Hal Monty married one of the adopted daughters of our founder, Callie. Now, when, and just ignore this family here, they're all in Shaken. But this family over here, which is the Bachelor family, they're not. But let's just ignore them for now, because that would make things even more complicated. Okay, so Hal Monty married Callie Monty. While we were there meeting or doing the marriage of Hal and Callie, I got a little attached to Theo and ended up matching Theo up with Heidi. And Heidi is also was a Monty. So she was the sister of Hal. They had a lot of kids. Okay, so Heidi was the sister of Hal, and she married Theo, who I got attached to when Theo was marrying, or not Theo, when Hal was marrying his relative. It was very complicated, but now Rhea is, I guess, the sister of Theo, but she was very young at the time. So Rhea married my sim, Cosmo. Okay. And Cosmo, as you can see, is the brother of these ones. Okay. So now we go back. Hold on. We're working on this particular family. Confusing. Okay. So Bryant, was Bryant anybody? Bryant, um, I don't think so. Bryant lived in the same neighborhood as the Petersons, but I don't think that, he lived like across the street, but there wasn't like anything. So Bryant and Corey, who is the daughter of Theo and Heidi, they had Dion and Silas. Okay. And then I'm trying to think. How does the Jock family tie in? Because they do. Okay. Yes. No. It's very complicated, as I said, and I'm trying to remember things that happened a long time ago. So the Jock family, no, I don't want Bryant. I want Ethan. Let me look at who his parents are, and maybe that can help me. Amara was raised by, Amara was raised by Bryant's. I believe Amara was raised by Bryant's parents. I think that's how it worked. Yes, because what had happened was I was going through the different households and everything, and for some reason, Amara, where are you, Amara? No, you're Corey. Amara is his mom, right? Yes. Okay. So when I was going through the different households, Amara was living with Bryant's parents, but she had absolutely no family ties to him. So that's what happened. Um, so now Ethan and they all lived next door to each other. So Ethan married Persephone, who he met during university. I did play Ethan during university. And they had Artemis and Dionysus, because, we're going with the Persephone thing. His sister is Audrey, who is one of the vampires, and she ran away. And then he also has a plant sim sister, Petunia. And I'm not actually sure why Petunia's in this household, because she's one of the sims for the Vagabond Challenge, because she's like a romance sim. So I'm not sure why she's in this household. So the reason why everybody's here together is because some of them were raised together. They were all neighbors, and I just needed to jam as many people into households as I can or could. So here's their little tiny sleeping quarters, and this is the same apartment that we were building that we were just in, the same bunker. So I don't need to explain where anything is or anything like that. So that's who all of these are. I'm sorry it was such a long and extremely confusing explanation. So the most important people I'd say would be Corey, because she's related as the cousin to, or is it she the cousin? Rhea and Corey. Okay, I guess Rhea is her aunt then. And like I said, Rhea married Cosmo, and they never had any kids. And then Ethan, I just played Ethan a lot. I actually played Ethan's family a lot. I liked his mom. So that's them. That's the Jock and Peterson families. Eventually, I'm probably going to split people up. Originally, I was going to have people living into Just a Pit. That's the name of these lots. I was planning on having everybody moving into those, so I might eventually do that. But for now, everybody's crammed into these little lots. end. So let me stop and I'll go to the next family that's living here. Okay, so this one is a little bit easier for me to remember. They are very memorable for me because when I was doing the matchmaking of their generation, Anton and Willem are twin brothers. And during the matchmaking, those two fought so bad. And it ended up giving me the idea to do separate rooms for the matchmaking because they just would not stop attacking each other. It was bad. I mean, it was funny, but at the same time, it was like, I need to get this done. And it got very frustrating. So, yeah. Okay, so Anton and Willem are twin brothers. And then Oakley is their younger brother, and I played him at least a little bit in university. I just, the reason I sent them to university is a completely different story. Okay, so Anton married Jahil, Gianardo, and they met in the matchmaking, and then Willem married Bridget. Oakley married Imogen, who he met at university. And okay, so JC is Anton and Jahil's daughter, Casey or JC, and she's their natural daughter because excuse me, Anton was abducted by aliens, and the one mod that I have, it's a boiling oils mod. It's got all kinds of different results that can happen when they get abducted, and one of those is like a gender swap type thing, which makes it so that instead of being able to get someone pregnant, you can get pregnant, something like that. Anyway, one of them or both of them, I can't remember, it was a long time ago, got abducted, and so their daughter is JC, but they also have Jax from the abduction, and they were born on the same day, I believe. Next, we have Warren and Willa Weir, and they would be Willem and Bridget Weir's. Do they have the same name? Warren? Oh, and Willa. Okay. I'm like, what? William Willa. Okay. Or Willem. Okay. So anyway, those are Willem and Bridget's kids. And then Alonzo would be Oakley and Imogen's son. And then it looks like Javon here would be Jahil and Anton's. And then Leith would be Willem and Bridget's. So yeah, we have a lot of kids. And I thought this was kind of hilarious because I had made sure as soon as they aged up that I split up Anton and Willem because they fought so bad. And now they're stuck in this place, in this teeny tiny apartment thing, you know. And it looks like I didn't finish doing all the beds in this one, the bunk beds and stuff, because that's the only way you can do bunk beds in this game. It's these who makes it? I'm not sure if it's Simlogical. It's whichever site that Ing Jones or Inge Jones, I don't know how it's pronounced. Anyway, it's the site that they have. I want to say it's Simlogical that has the bunk beds. I'm almost positive because they also are the ones that have the prison tags and stuff. So yeah, so this is the third family that lives in the first bunker. Yeah. Oh, talk about crazy. Oh, yeah, and the reason that this kid Warren is in here is because he is a vampire. He's a vampire kid. So yeah. Alrighty, let's go on to the next bunker. I'll be back. Alright, let's start with the second bunker. And I got this ready already so that I could start the explanation. This is the DeBateau household. Now, in the trailer park challenge, we had Kristen, who was one of our founders' adopted children. She married Lewis, and they had Meadow. Meadow was so bad and so disruptive that, fighting with her family members, her cousins and everything, that Kristen ended up dying of overheating because her daughter was distracting me so much I didn't even realize that she was dying. We did bring Kristen back, I believe with the genie wish. I'm not sure, but I ended up moving them away. They moved back to Shaken. Now this is Lewis's brother, and Lewis's brother Lennox married Rosalind DeBateau, and they had two kids, Felix and Abby. Abby Zanny married Caius Zanny, who is one of Romeo and Juliet's kids. But this family lives in Shaken, so we're not going to worry about them right now. But the Felix's family lived in Stirred. Now, Felix married Aisha, who was one of the Sims from Misery, and they had all of these kids. They were twins, and then they had Arabella at the end. Yeah, I guess that's a fairly easy explanation, actually. And Lavender, who is Leander's twin, recently turned into, whoops, don't want to hit the, I don't want to quit. The Q button normally quits, but also it's what you use when you're in tab mode to go down. So this is her, and she is a vampire, just like the little boy in the last household. So there she is, all creepy and such. And now their older daughters, did they get married yet? I'm not sure. Let's look back in the family tree. I can't remember. Okay, so Addison and Abigail, I don't see that they've gotten married. I actually cannot remember who they're matched up with or anything. Well, I guess I could look on the tracker. Bring that onto this screen. So let's see. That would be sheet 1 or sheet 2? Sheet 1. Addison DeBateau. Okay, so Addison married Marlowe Criggs. I'm not sure who that is. And Abigail married Samuel Miller. Okay, so the Millers are someone I'm familiar with. I know the Miller family. Now, Addison married Marlowe. It says new family 1. So they made a family together. Let's see. Family 1. No. I'm in family 1 right now. Now let's search this. Okay. So they are actually in family 11. So we've got Abigail Addison, Samuel Miller, Sophia Miller, Aiden Marlowe Criggs, who was just a townie, and then Emma, Landon, and Lace. Okay, so we'll probably be going to them now because they are in bunker 2. So let's switch over to them and we'll get a look at what their family dynamic is. Okay, so since we left off with Addison and Abigail, it would probably be easiest to start with them. So Abigail is the one that I'm on right now. Her twin sister is Addison. Like I said, they're the kids of Felix and Kaisha. So let's go and see, why are they living in this. I want to say that I did the matchmaking but didn't move them in, or it didn't actually get them married or anything. So she is matched up with one of the Miller kids. So Samuel Miller is matched up with Abigail DeBateau. But it looks like I didn't. Are you Abigail? Yeah. It looks like I didn't go any further than matching them up, so they're not in an actual relationship. Confusing enough. So there's Samuel Miller. And then Addison is matched up with, I think I said Marlowe Criggs. Is he living here? No. So I must have planned on having her. There he is. I must have planned on having her move him in. It's kind of complicated. There was a lot to do, and I mean, I had this huge list of Sims that I was matchmaking. Here you can see on the right here. Ignore the stuff on the left. That was trying to determine who would be a runaway and stuff. Okay, so that's Addison and Abigail's deal. So I still need to get Abigail married to Samuel, but they're still teens. That's what's going on. Now, Aiden and Emma are twins, and actually Aiden's one of my favorite Sims. Also, Aiden is going to be part of the Vagabond Challenge, so like I said with Petunia, I'm not sure why he is in this household. I guess I never moved the Sims out that are supposed to be in the Vagabond Challenge, so I'll have to take care of that soon. I guess we just won't do that challenge this time around. Okay, so here we go. Reed is his, Aiden and Emma's father, Reed, is the son of Wade, who is the first adopted son of, it's not going to show it here because he was adopted. He's the first adopted son of our founder, not Mason, Drew. So Drew adopted 8 kids, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was 8 kids. He adopted 8 kids. So Wade was the first kid that he adopted. Reed was his only child. He had Reed with this lady, Vasmi. I don't know how it's pronounced. It was kind of like this weird affair type thing, and so he had Reed. Reed married Kia, contender. Yeah, anyway, he married her, and he was the first Sim that Nate, our first zombie, attacked. I was very upset, like extremely upset. So yeah, that was, I guess you would say, our third zombie, but the second zombie was something that I did as on purpose as a story. He attacked Reed autonomously. So anyway, so shortly after Emma and Aiden were born, Reed became a zombie. And then when Emma and Aiden were young adults, I believe. Kia decided that she wanted to be with her husband, so she asked him to make her a zombie. Okay, so Emma married Maverick, who actually was one of the Sims that I met in university. I did take Aiden to university, but he never met anybody. Like I said, he's one of my favorite Sims. They had Landon and Lace, and then Gage after that. The Miller family, you will see a lot about. Where's Samuel? There's Samuel. You'll see it a lot about the Miller family because they have 8 kids, I believe. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Okay. So they had 7 kids. They had a wish to have 10, but they never made it. Because they never had, like, they had 2 sets of twins, I believe. Okay, so Stormy's the oldest, and she has the kid with my Miserable Sims challenge sim. And then was Samuel and Sophia, and then Spencer and Sasha. They all had S names. And then Stefan and Stephanie. Yeah. So that's all of their kids. Anyway, so Samuel, I believe is still a teen. I'm not sure. He could be an independent teen. I'm not sure if it shows them as a teen when they're an independent teen, or maybe I just now aged them to adult. I'm not sure. I need to get them together, but I'm not doing that right now because right now I'm just trying to introduce everybody. Next rotation, when I go through, I'll start tying up loose ends and doing all of that. And normally I'd be aging Sims up. I aged everybody up before I started all of this. So that's why you're not seeing me age anybody up or anything like that, because today's or this rotation is number 41. I already did all of the stuff for 41 because I was trying to make it seem like a lot of time had gone by story-wise, but then I started messing around in the Shaken neighborhood, so there was enough time now between when I left off to when I'm starting up that it wouldn't have really mattered. But I moved everybody from stirred into roasted and then moved everybody into the bunkers and then stopped and went and started playing everybody in Shaken, trying to get them caught up time-wise. Because I think they were in like day 20 something. Okay, so here's more Millers. They're related to, who was that? Steven? I'm not sure. Here, we'll do that and then we'll look. Was he Stephen Miller? Samuel, I'm sorry. Very confusing. So many Sims. And that's also a thing, is like, I went for so long not playing these Sims because I started playing The Sims in Shaken, and then I stopped playing Sims 2 altogether for a while. So there's just kind of like a gap in time. So I'm trying to reacquaint myself with them even as I'm trying to show you, you know, who's who, how they're related. And in a lot of cases when I'm trying to do matchmaking and stuff, I actually have to look at the gigantic family trees for the neighborhood and try to figure out, okay, are they related in some way? And that's why I did bring in some fresh blood, I guess you would say. Okay, so here we have, I think these are the remaining Miller kids. Let's see. Now, he just turned into a witch or warlock or whatever they're called in this game. Kind of confusing. It's like one game they're called warlocks and witches. Another game, they're just all called witches. And then in another game, they're called spellcasters. Make up your mind. You're confusing me. Okay, so did I match him up with anybody? Of course, I mean, I must have. So he's Spencer. I want to say he's one of the younger ones. Let's just check it out. Spencer. Okay, so Spencer Miller is going to be matched up with Kate Simovich. But he's not going to meet her until she comes with the caravan. Okay, so that's the deal with that. All right. Are they still teens? Yeah. Okay, so I think all three of them are teens. They're the youngest of the Miller clan, and then they have their child sister that lives with them. So that's the deal with them. They're all teens. They are all matched up with people, but they're too young. No, I know I do have some teens already matched up. I even married the one teen, teens, which they'll be aging up in like two rotations anyway. I'm not really worried about it. It's the thing is, like, you have to understand it's the apocalypse. Everybody's kind of had to grow up a little bit faster than normal. It's not like I'm having them like try for babies or anything like that. I don't have that mod. I don't have the mod that does anything like that, but I can make them independent teenagers and they can get married because the game kind of considers them to be actually adults with it turned on that way. So yeah, I can't remember who else is in this building, but they are probably somehow related to the Millers. So yeah. Let's see, has this loaded yet? I mean, I'm still talking, so there's no real point. Let's see, so we've got the Miller that we just did, and then here we got the Provocateur family. Okay, so we'll go into that. It's all like apart. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember who everybody is. She was one of the Sims from Strange Town. I know that, okay, the blonde girl and the dark-haired girl, I believe, are twin sisters. Their parents, like, right before they aged elder, decided that they wanted to have kids. I believe that's who they are. I could be wrong. And then she's married to, I think, Henry is his name. No, maybe not, because there's another Henry. Did I really name two people Henry? Henrik. That's who he is. Okay. All right, so let's see. So we have Courtney, who is the twin sister of Monique, and she married Henrik. Henrik is the younger brother of Everly, and Everly is the mother of Katerina, who is the head of one of the gangs, like the runaway gangs, because both of her parents ended up getting turned into zombies, but Everly did like way early compared. Okay, so that's who they are. And so Henrik married Courtney, and they have Noah. And Nanette is married to Monique. Clicky clicky. And they have Riaz. So she's a hogleg, and the hoglegs are part of the Strange Town family. I want to say Strangerville. Too many games with the different things that are similar but not. Anyway, so pollination tech hogleg would be, I guess, her great-grandfather. And then there's Jenny, who married or had a baby with, who had Daryl. And there's Sally. We don't worry about that, but that's a different side of the family. And she might just be an elder, or might just be a zombie because she died as an elder, or not died, but you know what I mean. Okay, so she married Monique, and she ended up having to get abducted so that they could have Riaz. Is there anybody else in this family that needs explained? Henrik, Courtney, twin sister of Courtney. Who is Carly? Did we go over who Carly is? I don't think so. Carly is the sister of Monique and Courtney. I'm wrong. I am wrong. Okay. So Monique and Courtney, their parents, they are the oldest sisters of Maisha and Noah. But these two, Carly and Henry, are the ones that they had right before they aged to elder. So that's what happened. So why isn't it showing it in birth order? That's kind of annoying. So we have Monique and Courtney. I'm not sure who's the older of the two, or if they were even twins. No clue. I could look at the age line, but do we really care? So Carly and Henry were the twins that the mother and father gave birth to right before they aged to elder, which obviously would mean that they kind of went crazy when they aged to elder. And Carly and Henry, they're supposed to be matched up with people, but that's not happening yet. And it looks like we teleported poor Riaz here. Can somebody, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to save. So that's who everybody is here in this one. So I'm going to stop and go to the next household. Okay. Now we're starting with the third bunker. Actually, the Simovich family is one of my favorites. Now, Miko and Milani are the daughters of Nervous Subject and one of my Sims that my founder adopted, Win. So Win and Nervous got married, and they had Milani and Miko. Miko is a pleasure sim, and, or no, Miko is a romance sim, and Milani is a pleasure sim. And both of them ended up moving into the romance house where Milani met Bo. So Milani and Bo fell in love at the romance house and decided that they wanted to be with each other. So they ended up moving back to Roasted. And they had Kate and Tate, and then later Brett. And then they had Emmett and Bennett, and then later Beckett. So that is all of their kids. I mean, I love them. Love, love, love this family. Now, Bo is, if you are familiar with Bo, he would be the brother of Dustin, and instead of Broke, it's Vandermorgan. So the father or the mother is Brandy and the father is Darren. So they had Dustin and Bo, and then Anthony was their third, the one that she was pregnant with. In, you know, in, if you played Pleasant View, Brandy Broke is pregnant, and so she had Anthony. So and Anthony had these ones, but we'll wait to go into them because they're in a different house. So what are we on right now? We're doing the Simovich. Ugh. Okay, let's go back to this because it's easier. So, yeah. So these are all of their kids. Are they all here still, this question? So we've got Kate and Tate, Brett, Beckett, Bennett, and Emmett. Okay, yeah. So they are all here. So this is all Milani and Bo's kids. Milani and Bo. And I love them. Absolutely love this family. Okay, so let's go back and we'll see Miko's family, which is a little bit more complicated. Okay, so like I said, Miko is Milani's twin sister, and they are the daughters of Nervous Subject and Win, who was one of my adopted daughters from the Trailer Park Challenge. Okay, so both of them, when they aged to adults, ended up going to the romance house. All romance sims go to the romance house. But not all pleasure sims, but I did end up deciding to just send Milani there. Okay. So this one is a lot more complicated. Miko fell in love with Alani, and they ended up moving to Roasted. But at the same time, and I guess, is she not even in the family tree anywhere? Okay, here we go. I guess Zinnia is dead. They both were in love with Zinnia. So they all got married, all three of them. And using the hacked wedding arch. Now, Zinnia is the plant sim daughter of Alexander Bachelor and his wife Emily Bachelor, which Alexander would be goth. So that's who Zinnia is, and they had a son, Thane. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how that had happened. So Miko had Sarita with Alani. Now, when Miko and Alani had Sarita, I have absolutely no idea how it happened. Because the only way in my game that same-sex couples can have a child together is if they get abducted by aliens. And or I can use that aspiration reward thing, and it costs like 50,000 aspiration points to temporarily change gender in order to do that. So anyway, they were both at the romance house at the time. I have absolutely no idea how it had happened. So yeah, that's their kids. Now, Sarita is a werewolf. She is our first werewolf. And she is, are they married? No. Okay, well, she's matched up with Elijah Green. So this is yet another marriage that I'm going to have to do. Or at least finish their, their courting or whatever. But I did match them together at the matchmakers building, which I should show you guys the matchmakers building so you know what the heck I'm talking about, because I keep bringing it up. And Ren, who is Ren? Why? I'm confused. She wasn't in their family tree at all. Ren was... Why did I decide... Off the top of my head, guys, I cannot remember why I decided to move Ren in with them. I want to say they adopted Ren. Because she does show her as a family member, but they're not technically married. But I would have to go through and look at the old chapters to remember why they adopted Ren. But I do remember she was adopted because I remember using, there's this hacked item that you can use to create, like, memories of them, being adopted. Let's see. Moved in, Alexander died, grew up well. Thane, wait, where she joined the family? Maybe it's in her memory. Okay, a bunch of people got married, learned how to walk, learned all the other stuff. Ren joined the family. Yeah, you know what? Off the top of my head, oh, it looks like she didn't want to be a werewolf. What is her aspiration? There's no thing there. That's weird. That is really weird. She has one, right? Yeah. What? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now. Not my concern. She was happy that somebody became a zombie, but she was unhappy she became a werewolf. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next household and we'll see who that is. Okay, here we are with more of the Simovich family, and like I said, I really love the Simovich family. And we had, in the last Simovich family household, seen Bo Simovich, which is the younger brother of Dustin, and Anthony, which is their parent, is the third of what would have been the Broke family, but obviously they're called Simovich instead because we would go by the woman's last name instead of the man's. Hold on. Let's keep going up. You know what? I'm not sure. We're not going to worry about it right now. Anyway, their dad was Anthony, who was the third child of the Simovich family. And I loved them. I loved Anthony and Lise, so yeah. And I love Braden and Grayson. They're like some of my favorite Sims that were in the Stirred neighborhood. And then their brother is Paxton, who I didn't really know very well. So we've got in this household Braden and Grayson. And let's see, how is the Vandella, is she matched with someone already? Okay, so she's matched with Grayson, and it looks like they haven't, like, gone further than, you know, the crush stage. So it does look like I've got a lot of work ahead of me with all of these different relationships. Now, Benson is somehow related to them. Benson and Jensen. I know who Benson and Jensen is. I'm just trying to remember why we moved Benson in this household. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember. Somebody's related to somebody, so okay, here we go. All right. So Lise was their these Simovich boys mother was Lise. And so Tally would be their aunt, and Benson would be their cousin then. So that's why he's living with them. Now there is a little bit of story for both Thandela and Benson. Thandela had her mother. Okay, no. Delia, her mother was her mothers were Cleo and Amina, okay? And Amina, she was one of the first Sims that got turned into a zombie. She got turned into a zombie as an adult. And then Cleo kind of went crazy and she adopted two daughters. And Delia at the same time, I believe on the same day, got bitten and turned into a zombie as well. And she's a teenager. She lives with the zombie teens. Okay, so then Cleo kind of went crazy and she adopted Thandela and Isabella. And then she also adopted the dog. Okay. So it shows in the family tree that Amelia is also their adopted mother, but she wasn't there. She was already a zombie living off the lot. And then when Cleo died, she became a zombie. So that's what happened with them. Okay, so now we have Benson here. And at the same time as the girl was turned into a zombie. Jensen was also, Tally and Albert, their son Jensen was turned into a zombie. Right after Jensen was turned into a zombie and he lives with the zombie teens, Albert died. So it was like, I don't know, a couple days later, story-wise, that he died. And Tally kind of lost her mind, and she seduced a waiter or host or something, and they had Benson. And I want to say that she died and became a zombie like right after Benson aged a teen. So that's the story of all of them that are living in this household. Now, who is... Okay, he's matched up with her. Who is Braden matched up with? I don't know if that's who he's with or will be with. Does that mean that I need to move in an NPC type person? Um, so Grayson was matched up with Thandela. Braden is matched up with Jasmine Yang. So it looks I'm gonna have to get Jasmine Yang and bring her over. She must be a homeless sim. Now Paxton, as you might notice, their youngest brother, or the younger brother, Paxton, isn't here. He ran away and he's living with one of the different runaway camps. I'm not sure which camp he's in. So that is the story of the rest of the Simovich family. So let me stop and go to the next one. Okay, now I did want to just, note that I don't expect everybody to remember who all of these Sims are. But at the same time, I feel like next rotation, when we go on to the 42nd rotation and I start managing all of these different families, with their relationships and aging people up and, all of that, I would like you at least slightly familiar with who they are. Eventually, you might know who different ones are. We'll see. A lot of things do happen eventually with the Bachelor family here, so you might be slightly more used to them by the end. Okay, so now, I had talked about how Hal Monty had married one of my Sims that were adopted in the first generation, Callie. Now, they had Daxton Bachelor. Well, he wasn't, he was Daxton Monty back then. And Flora is the daughter of Emily Bachelor and Alexander Bachelor, who obviously is the son of Bella. She also had Zinnia, who we had met a little bit earlier, her two wives, and they had two daughters and an adopted daughter. Okay, so Flora married Daxton. Now, it's a funny story how Flora and Daxton ended up together, because as you can see, Daxton's a romance sim, but he fell hard for Flora, and these two, I don't think she's, what's hers? She's a pleasure sim. And yet, these two wanted more and more and more babies. I mean, every time I went to their house, they were like, hey, we want more babies. So let's see, did they have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they had exactly 10 kids because they ended up having that wish eventually to have 10 kids. They were one of the families, I believe they're the first family that had quadruplets. I could be wrong. And I did mention in another video that one of the weird results of the virus was that Sims started having like multiple births more often, and then they started having like triplets and quadruplets, and all kinds of crazy stuff happened in as the result of the virus. Okay, so these two had Casa, Forest, but well, here, let's go in order. We had Forest, Fern, and Flint. They were their triplets. Then we had Bromley. Okay, Bromley is like a type of tree, I believe. So we had Bromley, Daisy, and Lucille. Hold on, I'm confused. Rosie, Posy. Why are they out of order? They're not in order by age. We had Forest, Fern, and Flint. And then we had Lucille and Luna. And then we had Bromley, Daisy, Posy, and Rosie, which were the quadruplets. I do not understand why they're not in order, other than the fact that this is one of the families that I don't play daily, and I just age them up when it calls for it. Okay, so anyway, yeah, they had the 10 kids. Those are the only kids that are in this household. Let's see. And Bromley was, it's some type of a tree or plant or fern or something. So that went with, it went with Daisy, Posy, and Rosie. Okay, and then, like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff in the future. I've already got things planned for Fern, Flint, and Forest. These ones are too young to have any plans for. And Flora and Daxton will at least be around for a little bit longer because they haven't aged to elder yet. Flora rolled to turn into a witch. And then I think one of the kids is a vampire, aren't they? I wanted to say one of the kids is a vampire. I could be wrong. I think 2 of them rolled to become werewolves, but they can't be a werewolf until they age to, I thought one of them was a vampire. I could have sworn. But anyway, they can't become werewolves until they age to, I know I keep saying, Daisy and Luna are both going to become werewolves when they age to teen. I could have sworn that one of their kids was a vampire. Is this a oh no, that's a zombies list. Vampires. No, I guess not. I don't know. I guess I'm wrong. But anyway, yeah, that's what's going on with them. Like I said, the oldest 3, the triplets, I have plans for all 3 of them. And then the younger ones, I won't start making plans for until they age to teen, and I take them on to the matchmaking house and try to figure their, it goes also by their personalities, what their personalities are. Like this one's super nice. She's definitely not going to be running away. Okay, I guess I will move on to the 4th and final bunker. Okay, so here we are at the 4th and final bunker, and this is the Curious family. Other than this one kid who's Zeb Corana, and I believe he's like a cousin, and actually I decided that he's going to be running away, so yeah. He wasn't supposed to run away right away, but I ended up changing my mind about it. Okay, so the Curious family, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are the ones that won the race for 10 kids. There were 3 different families that had that wish to have 10 kids. There was the Miller family who had 8. There was the Bachelor family who also had 10. And then there was the Curious family. And I believe the Curious family won, but now that I'm thinking about it, the Bachelors might have gotten theirs first. Okay, so their parents are Amante and Zachary Curious. Amante is the she is the daughter of Evie Grace Curious and Finley Curious. And let's see, do we have more information about who they are? Okay, so her dad was Creon Curious. Her mom was Lola Curious, and her grandfather was General Chip Nigmos, and her grandfather also was Pollination Tech Hogleg. So, yeah, that is who her family was. So they're basically the Strangeville Sims. And then Zachary is the son of... It doesn't seem like they're really anybody that we would care about. Okay, so there was Zachary and there was Zane. And Zane had Zeb, so that's who that kid is. And they also had Macy. Oh, she lives here too. Okay, so they're their cousins. I was like, who is that? But that's who they are. There we go. And Zane was with Rian. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Curious kids plus their 2 cousins living here. But Zeb is set to run away soon. Because originally I was going to try to get him set up with... Who's his future girlfriend? Or no, they're already... Katie Broke. But there was no way for me to match somebody in the Broke household with their person at the same time. It was very confusing because Katie is in the wagons and she's also set to run away. So I said, you know what, let's just have both of them run away and they can meet in the middle or something. So that's what's happening with them. Now we have Kale Curious, Kaylin Curious. Corbin was the first. He's the oldest. No. Yes. There was Corbin, and then Connor, Kale, and Kaylin. This is very confusing. Yeah, really confusing. And then they had a single birth, I think was Kaysen. And then they had triplets, Cameron, Casey, and Chloe. And then they had their 2 pets. Renzo, I don't know. So all of the teens are already matched up with different people. Like I said with the Bachelors before this, all of the teens are matched up with people. I have plans for all of them for the for the future. I think they did have one sister that already ran away. And she was a total you know what. Was it her? Katie? Yeah, I don't see Katie here, so I'm pretty sure it was her that ran away. And both of the parents are in the asylum. So yeah, it's just the teens and their 3 younger siblings, or 4. Or did they have quadruplets? No, they had one single child, and then they had triplets. But anyway, there's all of them. Okay, so let's go back up and I will show you the other family that is related to the Curious family. All right, here we go. All right, so you just met the Curious family. Now, their mom is... come on. Excuse me. Their mom is Amante. Amante had a younger brother named Camden. Camden married Aiden, and Aiden, they wanted to have a child. So Aiden was trying to get abducted, like I said, that's the only way for same-sex couples to have a child is through getting abducted and getting things switched around. Or I could use that aspiration thing, but I try not to use that. Okay, so Camden married Aiden. Aiden and he wanted to have a child. Aiden got himself abducted, but instead of it switching things around so that they could have a child, he turned into a plant sim. So he got himself abducted again. He got pregnant with Aaron, but that did switch things around, and they had Zayden together. Now, since we had so many Sims that with the last name Curious, since his sister went crazy and had 10 kids, they changed their name to Friendly. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And Friendly is... okay, yeah. Friendly is one of the names that is in... he's Camden, right? Yeah, it's one of the family names in Camden's history. So they changed their last name to that. Now, hold on, let's try to remember who these people are. They must be related to him. Okay, Aiden and Victor are brothers. Yeah, I recognize the dad. Yeah, okay. And Victor married Marcia. I want to say she was like the handiness instructor, the mechanical hobby person, you know what I mean? So they got married and they had Kobe and Cole. Since their names rhyme, they're probably brothers. So yeah, that's who, go down here, that they're married. Where's everybody else? And here is the rest of the family. But where's the toddlers? They might be in their beds already. Oh no. Here's the one. And where's the other toddler? Coming down. Okay, he was coming down the stairs when I had it on pause. So there we go. That is that family. Okay, moving on. Alrighty, we're almost to the end. Okay, so we have Emelina here, and she married Rudo. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, he was a professor, like a college professor. They met through the matchmaker type thing, yeah. Anyway, so they got married, and they had one daughter, Katya. Anyway, so then they had quadruplets after that, which I was not happy about. I was like, anyway, I didn't want to have that many more kids in the neighborhood, so it happened, whatever. And since her name sounded kind of like Russian, Katya, we went with Sergey, Nikolai, Grigory, and Kalindi. So yeah, that's their kids. Now, she had a twin sister, Lindley, and Lindley just died. And Lindley's wife is Lena, and they have 3 kids, so you'll meet them when we get to the next house. So that's these guys. I don't know where the rest of their kids are. Probably inside. I tried to get all the toddlers inside before I stopped playing the different households. Not that I played them, I just brought them all here. into the different lots. Is that the same kid from the last house? No, Sergey. Huh? I don't know. Anyway, let me introduce you to Emelina's sister-in-law. Alrighty, can you believe it? This is the last household. Woohoo! Okay, so you might recognize Lena, but let me just go over her story really quick. Okay, so Lena's wife was Lindley, who was the sister of Emelina that we just met. Lena's older sister, Eris, was one of the very first zombies that was created. She's a teen, lives in the zombie teens camp thing. Okay, so Lindley and Lena decided that they wanted to have a child, and so Lena started trying to flag down aliens and got herself instead turned into a plant sim like the other guy. After that, though, she was able to either get pregnant or get Lindley pregnant. I can't remember. And they had Beatrice, Bianca, and Beaumont. Now, and he's a junior because he's like named after, oh, here we go, like a great grandfather. Okay, so then, and why aren't they even, it's not even showing their other kid. I guess I made him, adopted by the other household. Okay, so then they had a fourth child, which is not pictured here, and, that child, right after birth, had the death roll and became a vampire. And so he's the first child in my toddler apocalypse or toddler asylum household that I introduced you to. I think it was in the intro. So he's the kid there. So that's how you might recognize Lena here, because in the pictures she's the one that's bringing that boy to them. I can't remember his name. I guess I could look here. Aging, he would have been one of the younger kids. Benjamin Baldwin was his name. Or it is his name. He's like still alive and stuff. Okay, so that's the end of it, and you have met everybody, and we are good to go to, I think, start the next rotation, unless we're going to do the asylum lot.